The Federal Poet just published this poem in the fall, and I've called it Mankind. We are all of mankind. Surrender a fancied dream of birth. Accept science of recent years. To date, Africa marks the first form of man. Here in dust, most recent proof lies. History here emerges, bone by bone. Dig, dig, dig. May Africa reward this search, if only through eroded bones. Fit them together, date them, shape the skeleton of earliest man. This is history. Sing another song in vain contrive a different tune. Dust will prevail, it always does.
Mae Miller was born in Washington, D.C. to Kelly and Annie Mae Miller. She was one of the Millers' 5 children. Her father, Kelly Miller, was the professor and founder of the Department of Sociology at Howard University. Her house, which was located on the Howard University campus, was a gathering place for the Black intellectuals and artists of the time, such as W.E.B. Du Bois, Booker T. Washington, and Langston Hughes. She graduated from Howard University in 1920, earning an award for her one-act play Within the Shadows. Mae completed graduate studies in poetry and drama at American University and Columbia University. In 1925, her play, The Bog Guide, placed 3rd in the Opportunity Magazine contest that was primarily read by African Americans, helping plant her in the Black cultural scene and the Harlem Renaissance. After completing her studies, Mae taught English and speech for 20 years at Frederick Douglass High School in Baltimore, Maryland. In 1954, she married her husband of 41 years, John Bud Sullivan, who was a high school principal. After she stopped teaching in Baltimore, Miss Miller redoubled her poetry writing efforts. Her verse was published in magazines and in several collections, including The Clearing and Beyond in 1974 and Collected Poems of Mae Miller appearing in 1989. Mae Miller was an active member of S Street Salon, hosted by Georgia Douglas Johnson, for writers and poets of the time. Other than Mae, other prominent Harlem Renaissance writers who attended include Langston Hughes and Jean Toomer. The salons were held at Miss Johnson's residence in Washington, D.C. In the 1970s, Mae Miller read her poetry publicly at several high-profile celebrations. Mae Miller Sullivan, 96, a Washington poet, playwright, and educator whose literary career began in the Harlem Renaissance of the 1920s, died of pneumonia February 8th at her home in Washington, D.C. We are honored to be joined this evening by her friends, family, and colleagues who will help us to celebrate the life and legacy of Mae Miller.